The lights go out, and for 2026 we're underway again, and it's a good getaway, at least initially, for Bijoy Garg, but he is going to be joined on his outside by Louis Rousset in the Forestier Racing by Panis car. The race start is under investigation. That's kind of a staple message from Eduardo Freitas, as now cars are off all over the place down at the gravel. That's the Algarve Pro Racing car needing to recover, but 1, 2, 3 cars with heavy damage and causing a chicane, and there are more off at the first corner, including the number 4 DKR Engineering car, which has arrived backwards at turn 1 and cleaned out 2 fellow LMP3s in the pro. One of 17 for CLA.
Cars stationary in turn 2. I think one of them is the number 9 Proton car. I think it's the forward back car.
So at least three LMP2s have already been damaged. I have no idea how the DKR Engineering car was already backwards with anti-Ramo. Did he get a hit to provide that?
I don't think he did. Something very odd happened to that LMP3. There was a heavy hit on Jonas Reed. He was spinning and caught by another car. Safety car inevitably has been called here. 2 separate incidents.
Well, I was certainly concerned about whether we would get everybody through cleanly at turns 1, 2 and 3.
I'll tell you who's involved in this, by the way. It is the number 9 Proton competition car started by Jonas Reed. Georgios Kolovas in the 47 car is in trouble, as is Crichton and Tudis. The 2 cars that got involved in the clash in qualifying are both involved in that second turn shunt, and it was a big one, Johnny Palmer. Nick Adcock, Paul Lancher and anti-Ramo are the 3 in LMP3, and I don't think any of those cars have left the scene of that incident.
So Bijoy Garg was out and clear and was not affected by that, so he will continue to lead. The first tried around the outside of the American to take the race lead, but I think decided that discretion was the better part of valour, and he would have an awful lot more racing to do with potential chances to get in front of the first Inter-Europol competition car. Kuba Śmiechowski, who started the 43 car, is in third, ahead of Matthias Kaiser for Algarve Pro Racing. So that was not the Algarve car that was affected, it was the sister machine, as you, I think, have mentioned.
Yeah.
And so 25's okay. Griffin Peebles could still do a fair bit from 5th position. And then further down, the other class leaders, LMP2 Pro-Am is Duquesne and Giorgio Roda from pole. And the RHGP, Fabien Michal, hung on to the lead, as did Abdullah Ali Al-Khalifi in his team Qatar by Iron Lynx machine. So amazingly, even though there was that kind of bomb burst right in the middle of the track, we haven't altered anybody as the class leaders from their pole position starting places.
No, we haven't. So cars are following the safety car through that incident site. This is the number 4 car that triggered the incident in LMP3, and it'd be good. Also on pit lane, by the way, Blake McDonald in the TF's car. Well, here's the drone shot coming into turn 1. The LMP2, to call it action, started rather later, but there was a lock-up in the middle of the pack, triggered by the number 9 car, but who... yeah. And then hit very hard indeed, I think, by Crichton and Tudis. So 3 P2 cars involved in that. And looking again, I think it was the CLX car that had the major hit.
So do we get to see anti-Ramo from this angle? No, we don't. And in fact,
it's a red flag. I'm not surprised.
Flag now, but that won't stop the clock ticking down. So this will still count towards the race distance. But yeah, that was a full-on T-bone, and then he got hit again. The 47 car of Georgios Kolovos.
I just think he was braking and he was on the curb. I think that's what's happened with anti-Ramo. He's gone wide. He braked on the curb, and I could then see in the pack, by the way, there was a clash with the Corvette.
Who's this on board with? Could be Kolovos, actually. If we now T-bone, yeah, the number 9 car, nice. Bang.
That's a big hit.
And from Georgios's position, he just couldn't go anywhere anyway. I mean, it was all too late. To try and turn left or right, there were probably cars alongside him. This is PJ Hyatt's viewpoint, so how close was he to being
I
involved
don't
with
think
it?
there was contact. I don't think there was contact.
For the 9.
The 9.
But I was amazed that PJ Hyatt avoided it, and probably the car behind just about squeaked through. This is what was going on in the LMP3 field.
This was...
So you've got the second of the Mercedes in front, not Al-Khalifi. Just trying to work out who that onboard is from. The Aston Martin.
I thought for a moment it might have been Blake McDonald, but it's not, because there was no contact then. He definitely had contact.
Well, yeah, because Blake's been into the pits to sort that out and rejoin. Remember, Blake McDonald in the Corvette started the race in second, so he's going to continue. We haven't lost any of the LMGT3s, incidentally, because Blake McDonald's back in the race, but he is in 14th, therefore last.
Well, the field is being brought to a stand under red flag conditions in a single file on the pit straight. So let's just remind you what's happened here. 2 separate incidents in corners 1 and 2. The first of them triggered by some kind of issue for Jonas Reed, sent that car turning around, was then collected hard by the 47 CLX Motorsport car of Georgios Kolovos, and a further hard impact on that car from Craig Lantudis and the following 27 Nielsen racing car. About the same time, Antti Ramo seemed to lose control under braking. I think he was on the curbs coming down into turn 1 in the number 8 DK Engineering Ligier, and that then collected, unfortunately for CLX Motorsport, another of their cars, Paul Encher, in the 17 and the 68 of Nick Adcock. So none of those 3 cars, well, one I think has just moved. DK Engineering is on pit lane. Managed to come back.
Was that Paul Encher driving away? It certainly looked like an LMP3 car, because there was a collection of P3s in the gravel at turn 1, and then further around, yeah, it is Paul Encher. Further around, that was the P2 incident, which accounted, I think, entirely for LMP2s. And one of those damaged LMP3 cars is at least going again. Gravel all over the place, and one of the rear bullets, the cheese wedges, is well out of alignment, but at least it's still connected to the car, so they can attempt to fix that, but it will need to be fixed in order for the car to remain legal for the rest of the race.
Dragging on the rear wheel as well there.